Welcome to the Motley Stew. So this is a new channel for me that I'm going to be focusing on all things in the entertainment industry around superhero movies, specifically Marvel, obviously the number one, the big one out there right now, but a little bit of Star Wars and a little bit of DC sprinkled in as well. And what better way to kick off this channel multiple days late? This isn't going to be new information for anybody, but it's something that I just wanted to touch on to have as part of my repertoire of videos in my catalog, and I just want to discuss Henry Cavill being dropped as Superman.
Black Adam. We should talk.
Needless to say, I think we're as a fandom, we're split 50-50 in terms of what our expectations were. I think half of us totally expected to continue to have Henry Cavill as Superman, because let's face it, I mean, he is probably, if not the best Superman that we've seen on screen ever. I mean, you got to give it up to sort of the OG Christopher Reeves from the big screen, back in the day. But Henry Cavill has just been the epitome of what everybody has wanted from Superman. So the other half have sort of expected this to happen, understanding there is sort of a change of the guard when it comes to DC and Warner Brothers, and honestly the necessity for DC to do some type of a hard reboot and just start over from scratch, work on true character development. Don't necessarily rush into a Justice League movie like DC did. You went from Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman, and all of a sudden you had the Justice League. Like, it was just so fast, and it just didn't quite make a ton of sense. So yeah, here's what Henry Cavill had to say. He posted on Instagram. This was just, I believe, 4 days ago now. Henry Cavill states, "I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then we must remember Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he sets for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all, onwards and upwards." If that isn't the most Superman thing that we could have had stated by the man who plays Superman himself, I don't know what is. Let's face it. DC is in a pickle. They're in a bad situation. Marvel did something that I don't think anyone ever expected to do and took off, and they built this massive connective universe. And DC did the only thing they thought they knew how to do, which was try to play catch up. And they moved too fast. Disney lacked character development. They lacked conflict development within all of each of the characters. And they just sort of slapped together a bunch of people in a movie that didn't quite give you the same feelings as you got when you watched something like The Avengers. And it's pretty simple. I think DC has to take a step back. They've hired James Gunn and Zack Safran for a reason. This reason is to build out the next 10 years of a roadmap, so that way DC can start working on some sort of collective and connected universe. Now, that doesn't mean every single thing has to be 100% connected, but I am a firm believer that even though you can have some one-offs, I think if the majority of your universe isn't somehow tied together or connected, you just will not continue to keep up pace with Marvel. Now, Marvel hasn't done the greatest this last couple years. Phase 4 has been very controversial, but overall they still know what they're doing, and I believe they're making the right moves moving forward going into the multiverse saga. So DC needs to do two things. One, do their absolute best to not rush into your group movies, your Justice League style movies. You need to build on singular characters, conflict within those characters, and really make people buy into those characters. But if they find themselves in a position where they have to make movies that have a group setting, James Gunn is the guy that does it and does it well. I mean, he pulled off the Suicide Squad. He pulled off the Peacemaker series. And let's not forget, I mean, he pulled off what I don't think anybody thought was going to be a massive success as it was with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, these were all characters that in the mainstream of Disney, these characters weren't really known by most regular normie fans out there. So for him to come in, make that film, and give every single character their just deserves to the point where almost all fans walked away feeling completely connected and invested into those characters, then James Gunn is the guy that can pull this off for DC so that maybe they don't have to take 10 years to get to where Marvel was 6 years ago, if you know what I'm saying. You know, maybe he can speed that along. But, you know, they have to do something. So, yeah, Henry Cavill not coming back as Superman. I think it's safe to say the OG cast is gone and done. There are rumors out there that Jason Momoa might be coming back to play Lobo instead of Aquaman. We haven't quite heard anything yet, at least solid and significant, about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, or anything about The Flash, which we don't need to talk about that in this video because that's plenty enough information for another video. So that's it. Let me know what you think. Again, I know this isn't something that's new to everybody. I'm absolutely behind the times on this one. Just wanted to get my first video out on the channel, so please give me some feedback on how you feel about the audio of this, the pacing, and I will take as much feedback as I possibly can. And yeah, they're nerdy out there, and we'll catch you on the next video.